Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tech for Senior. This is May the 27th. I'm Ron Brown. I'll be your host today. Huey's going to be your host next week. And he'll tell you all about that today, I'm sure, with his new computer. So it'll be a fast-paced show next week. Anyway, welcome, everybody. We do appreciate you coming and listening to us. Hopefully, everybody's having a happy Memorial Day and enjoying. The people from the United States are obviously having a long weekend, which is great. We had our long weekend last weekend, as I mentioned in the show. So thanks for coming. We have a big show for you today. I think you'll find lots of interesting things. But we also have a show on Thursday. So if you haven't come around and talk and had a look at our show on Thursday, it's not a Zoom meeting. We run it through a program called StreamYard, and it streams out to Facebook and our YouTube page. So if you hadn't had a look at it, I would encourage you to do so. Now, last Thursday, we had I thought it was one of the best shows we ever did. And it was that we asked the question, what is an AI-enabled PC? Because many of you are getting ads from Best Buy now, and it's saying, hey, do you want to buy an AI-enabled PC? Well, what is an AI-enabled PC? Michael Dell said last week that probably almost all PCs sold in 2025 will be AI-enabled. And I said, well, gee, that's only 6 months from now. And of course, Ray pointed out it's 7 months, right, Ray? So anyway, very shortly now, we're going to see a lot of AI-enabled PCs. And so we simply answered the question, what is an AI-enabled PC? And I'll put the link in the chat to the show if you didn't see it. I think it worked out very well. It was an excellent show. So drop by. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about this Thursday, but it'll certainly be the news of the week. The second thing that happened this week was, sort of one of the jobs I have is to answer all the comments in YouTube. And we get a lot of comments, people watching all our videos on YouTube. And we got a comment that said they really liked our show, but they couldn't stand watching the whole thing because it wasn't indexed. And I thought we'd beat this one to death, and I don't think I'm going to spend a lot of time talking to everyone here about it. But just in case you didn't know, I'm just going to share my screen. Let me just bring this up here. I'm just going to share my screen. I think can everybody see this? And if I bring this over here, now can you see this? Can everyone see this? Okay. Yep. This is, sorry, it's a little bit small, but this is last week's show, episode 215, Tech for Seniors, May 20th, 2024. Now, what the person didn't do, they watched the show, but they didn't look down here. And if you sort of go along and draw your mouse along the bottom here, you'll see there's all these chapters. And if you come down in the description, and all our videos are the same, all 250 shows are exactly the same. If you come down to the bottom here, you will see the index, and all these are what the show is all about, and you'll see the timestamps on the side here. So if you want to go to any one of these titles here, you just click the button, click the timestamp on the side there, and it will take you that right section of the show. Now I've done videos about this, and I've done a lot of talking about it, so I'm not going to belabor it because I think you are the converted people that understand all that. And I just want to make sure if you didn't, that you did know about it, because it's very easy to find sections in all our videos because they all have that timestamp there. So, but for people who I guess aren't used to internet or aren't used to YouTube, maybe they haven't looked down there to look for that, because this person obviously didn't know that there was indeed an index for the show. So you can go right to the specific location. All right, so before we get on with introductions here, let me just take off the spotlight here. The other one was today for our premiere edition. We will be talking about at 1:30. We have our premiere video coming out, and it's a good one. It's all good, but this is on customizing ribbons in Microsoft with Marsha Berkey, who did that a year ago. Bill's going to talk about Windows security secrets, and Mike Ungerman's going to talk about mobile apps for EV charging. those are the three selections today, and that will be playing at 1/2 I think that's about all I wanted to say. Just to remind everyone, on June the 17th is our special in June, which will be about streaming services, and we're setting up the agenda for that, and we'll be talking and getting their show organized for that. But the whole show will be on streaming services. If you have any questions about streaming services, drop me a note, and we'll try to incorporate it somehow into the show for that on the 17th. So let's quickly do an introduction. Hewie, you're of course going to tell us all about your new computer next week.
Next week, yep. So I'm not going to get into it. I'm still trying to get things installed and updated, and working with two keyboards. I keep typing on the wrong one. Well, it's
right.
fun.
Okay. And Bob, you're still traveling. You're in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, we leave for home tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
And we won't get there tomorrow because we're not going to do it in one shot. It's 12 hours of driving.
Okay.
I'll do 6 and then do 6 the next day.
Excellent. Excellent. And Ray, you managed to make it in. You're
It wasn't easy. I'm having problems with connecting with Zoom on my main desktop computer, which has 2 monitors side by side, 2 nice big monitors that I can really multitask well. Now I'm committed to my 14-inch laptop and trying to make work the same way. Time will tell. But Ron, I wanted to tell you that in past jobs I've had, I used to get time and a half for working a holiday.
Oh, well, maybe we could do time and a half. I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah,
1.5 times 0
I
is
thought
still
we were,
0,
yeah.
right?
All right.
If you work on a holiday, it's supposed to be double time.
Even
So
double-
2
double
times.
your
Yeah,
pay.
that's okay too. 2 times 0 is still 0, right?
Mhm.
There you go. Bill, you've got your camera off. Are you not with us, or
He may be
left?
with the club because remember the club's also.
Oh, okay. And then of course we
Oklahoma.
had Chris and Jim. Welcome. And that was that was a great show you did yesterday. That was just super.
And I was just in Texas too.
Yeah.
So
Austin.
I was in Austin.
Mhm.
Oh,
Austin is a cool city and a very, very high tech city. Headquarters of Tesla, huge Google offices, Apple, Facebook.
Dell, isn't Dell in Austin?
Dell was always in Austin, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's where my daughter lives.
All right. Well, listen, thank you for coming, everyone. You came to obviously listen to the show. We'll get going. Bob, are you ready to roll?
I'm always ready to roll. Here's my security news roundup for the week ending May 24th, 2024. New Wi-Fi vulnerability enables network eavesdropping via downgrade attacks. Researchers have discovered a new security vulnerability stemming from a design flaw in the IEEE 802.11 Wi-Fi standard that tricks victims into connecting to a less secure wireless network and eavesdrop on their network traffic. The SSID confusion attack, tracked as CVE 2023-52424, impacts all operating systems and Wi-Fi clients, including home and mesh networks that are based on WEP, WPA3, 802.11, X, EAP, and AMPE protocols. The method involves downgrading victims to a less secure network by spoofing a trusted network name so they can intercept their traffic or carry out further attacks. Read more at thehackernews.com. EU threatens Microsoft with billion-dollar fine over generative AI misinformation in Bing. Following an initial request on March 14th regarding the risks posed by Bing's generative AI capabilities and the image generator, Microsoft has until May 27th to provide the requested information. The Commission is asking Microsoft for internal documents and data not previously provided to assess Bing's risk mitigation measures, as required by the DSA. Generative AI is a risk identified by the Commission for the upcoming European Parliament elections in June. If Microsoft fails to comply within the specified period, the Commission may impose fines of up to 1% of the provider's total annual turnover or worldwide turnover, and periodic penalties payment of up to 5% of the provider's annual daily turnover or worldwide annual turnover. Read more at ℎ𝕑𝕙𝕉.com. Ex-Facebook exec who used company cards to steal millions gets prison time. According to the initial charge filed in December, ℕ𝕉 linked PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App accounts to Facebook corporate cards, then submitted fraudulent expense reports to the company for charges. She would send money to associates, then have them pay her back with account transfers or cash, sometimes mailed, sometimes wrapped in T-shirts, the charge said. Along with a 5-year, 3-month prison sentence, ℕ𝕉 had been ordered to pay almost $5 million in restitution to Facebook, now Meta, and $121,000 to Nike. Prosecutors got the amount of restitution they'd sought from the judge, but shy of their suggested 6.5 years of prison time. Read more at sfgate.com. Cybercriminals exploit GitHub and FileZilla to deliver malware cocktail. A multifaceted campaign has been observed abusing legitimate services like GitHub and FileZilla to deliver an array of stealer malware and banking Trojans, such as Atomic, also known as Amos, Vidar, Luma, also known as Luma C2, and Octo by impersonating credible software like 1Password, Bartender 5, and Pixelmator Pro. The presence of multiple malware variants suggests a broad cross-platform targeting strategy, while the overlapping C2 infrastructure points to the centralized command setup, possibly increasing the efficiency of the attack. Recorded Futures INSIC Group said in a report. Read more at thehackernews.com. Chinese nationals arrested for laundering $73 million in pig butchering crypto scam. The individuals, Darren Li, 41, and Yichang Zhang, 38, were arrested in Atlanta and Los Angeles on April 12th and May 16th, respectively. The foreign nationals have been charged for leading a scheme to launder funds to the tune of at least $73 million tied to an international crypto investment scam. Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco said prosecutors have accused Li, Zhang, and their co-conspirators of managing an international syndicate that laundered the funds obtained via cryptocurrency investment scams. As part of the fraudulent operation, victims are said to have been tricked into transferring millions of dollars to U.S. bank accounts that were opened in the name of various shell companies. Read more at thehackernews.com. Google detects fourth Chrome Zero Day in May actively under attack. Update ASAP. Google on Thursday rolled out fixes to address a high-severity security flaw in its Chrome browser that it said had been exploited in the wild. Type confusion vulnerabilities occur when a program attempts to access a resource with an incompatible type. It may have serious consequences as it allows threat actors to perform out-of-bounds memory access, cause a crash, and execute arbitrary code. The development marks the fourth zero day that Google has patched since the start of the month. Read more at thehackernews.com. Microsoft outage affects Bing, Copilot, DuckDuckGo, and ChatGPT internet search. A massive Microsoft outage affecting Bing.com, Copilot for web and mobile, Copilot in Windows, ChatGPT, Internet Search, and DuckDuckGo. Microsoft outage started at approximately 3 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on 5/23/2024. Microsoft has confirmed an issue where users may be unable to access the Microsoft Copilot service. We're working to isolate the cause of the issue. More information can be found in the Admin Center under CP 795190, the company noted in a post on X. For me, this outage lasted throughout the day. This was one of the times where having alternatives available came in very handy. Read more at leapingcomputer.com. Microsoft being investigated over the new Recall AI feature that tracks your every PC move. Microsoft's new AI-powered computer history feature, Recall, has been receiving criticism among PC users for being very Black Mirror-like. However, it's not just critics who are coming after Microsoft over Recall. The UK's Information Commission Office is now investigating the company's new AI feature too. The ICO is an independent public authority that reports to the Parliament of the United Kingdom. It's tasked, among other things, with promoting and uploading data privacy rights for individuals. It will be interesting to see how reactions from users and security professionals, as well as inquiries from government officials, affects Microsoft's Recall going forward. Read more at Mashable.com. This week's must-see on my YouTube channel. A closer look at Microsoft's new and controversial Recall AI feature. I hope this elaboration provides a clearer picture of Microsoft's Recall feature and the steps being taken to protect user privacy. If you have any more questions or need further information, feel free to ask. Please watch my video on that topic by following the link listed. Did you know 75% of the world's diet is produced from just 12 plants and 5 different animal species? When the first iPad prototype was shown to Steve Jobs, he dropped it in an aquarium and used the air bubbles to prove there was empty space and it could be made smaller. Beer and wine bottles are often brown or green to reduce spoilage caused by exposure to light, especially ultraviolet light. Just thought you might want to know. When the uncreative tell the creative what to do, it stops being art. Thanks to Tony Bennett. And that's a wrap for this week's Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye, and thanks for watching and listening.
Thanks, Bob. And you'll be hearing more about the recall feature in the video later on. So we're going to talk more about that later on in the show. All right, now let's go ahead. I've got a little something for you. Have you ever been going to send some photos in Gmail and got the dreaded message, maximum file size exceeded? In this video, I'm going to show you a tip that is going to allow you to send more pictures in your Gmail account and get rid of that dreaded maximum file size. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, where we help seniors with technology and get them to increase their efficiency using Gmail and allow them to send more pictures in their Gmail. So today I'd like to talk about sending photos in Gmail. I get a lot of questions about this because there is some frustration. There is a maximum amount number and also file size that you can send in Gmail. Once the package gets too big, then they're going to say, no, you can't add any more pictures. Now you also can send it as an attachment, and I'll show you both and how that works. And I found a new way to send more pictures, and I'm going to share that with you today. It's super easy, and I'm sure you'll want to try this out when I show you how to do it. But let's talk about sending pictures in Gmail. All right, so you've probably all clicked that little button that says add pictures. Well, you can either add pictures into Gmail. In other words, you can go to wherever you have your pictures and add them directly into Gmail, and they will be actually pictures there. Or you can add them as an attachment. But both ways of doing it have a limited number of pictures, depending how big the pictures are and what size. Now, I'm going to keep this real simple today. This tip is for someone who knows really nothing about Gmail and is just starting out, but finding they want to put more pictures in the body of their Gmail. Let me show you how to do this. Now, in this email, I want to send friends of mine pictures of all the beautiful rhododendrons I have in my yard, all the gardening work I've been doing, and I want to send the pictures in this Gmail. So let's have a look and see how I'm going to do it. So as you all know, if we come down, let's go way down here to the bottom, you'll see this little button that says Insert Photos. So let's go and we're going to put some pictures in here, and we're going to see, and we're going to send them to all my friends, okay? So here we are, Insert Photos. Let's have a look at this. Now, all my photos are in Google Photos, but this would work as well if you're in any other photo program. So let's come down and let's have a look at all the pictures I've taken of my house recently. Now you'll see along here are all the pictures I want to send. So let's have a look. We're going to, let's click off the pictures we're going to send. Well, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here, one here, and one here. Now watch what happened when I click that last picture. It says maximum file size exceeded. Please deselect one. All right, so we have to take this one out. And now we're going to send this. So I'm going to send it as an inline. I don't want it as an attachment because I want people to actually see the pictures when they open up the email. And so we're going to insert this now and watch what happens in my email. You'll see all the pictures now are here. So we just have to label it and send it off, and you'll be able to see all the pictures. But gosh darn it, I wanted to send more. Maybe if we do it as an attachment, we can get more pictures. Let's have a look at that again. Okay, here we are again. We're back in Gmail. I'm creating a new email now, and we're going to send those pictures as an attachment, not in the body, and see if we can get more pictures in there. Let's give it a try. So we're going to come down and we're going to come to this little photo button again. We're going to click Photos. And again, we're going to come down and find those photos I want to send. Okay, let's click some photos here. I want to send this one. 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 And the last one, remember, will this work? No. You see it says maximum file size exceeded again, so it won't let us do it, even if we wanted to send it as an attachment. So what we're going to do is I'm going to deselect this and the last one again, and we're going to still send it as an attachment. And I'm going to insert them just to show you what an attachment looks like. And I'm going to click here. And as you see, these pictures are all being uploaded to the cloud, and there will be a link to those in your email. So again, but you won't be able to see them in the body of the text. And I want people actually to see all these pictures when I send them. So how do we solve this problem? Well, I have a little trick for you. Let me show you how to do it. All right, here's the trick, and I've been doing this for the past year, and I use this more and more and more when I want to send pictures. So watch this. Now remember, I'm back in my Google Photos now. You can see that on the screen here. You'll see those pictures I want to send. So let me see let me show you what I'm going to do here. We come down to the pictures, and I want to send all these 6 pictures and maybe some more. So how am I going to do that in Gmail? Well, watch what I do here. This is super easy to do. Anyone can do this. So I'm going to select all these pictures here. And remember, we could only get up to 4 before. We're going to take 5 and we're going to take 6. Okay, we've got all 6 pictures. And I'm going to come up here to the top of the screen here, and you see this little plus button. I'm going to click plus, and we're going to come down here, and I'm going to click collage. Let's see what happens. It's now going to take all those pictures, and it's going to make a collage for me, but that's just one picture. All right. Now, I'm using Google Photos, but any photo editing program will do this, so you could use whatever you want, but I'm just showing you in Google Photos. Now, I like to save, I'm just going to save this to my downloads directory. I'll show you how but you can do it in a variety of different ways, but I'm just going to call this flowers, and I'm going to save it in my downloads directory. Let's go back to Gmail. We have a blank Gmail here, and let's add all those 6 pictures, which we couldn't do before, in. Let me show you how that's going to work, because we're just going to add the collage, which is one picture. So let's come down to Photos. We're now going to, we need to upload the picture into the cloud, okay? So we're going to hit Upload, and we're going to choose the photo, and we're going to come over, and here it is, and it's just in my downloads directory called Flowers. And we're going to upload this, and it's going to insert it now into the body of my Gmail. And look at that, we can see all the 6 pictures that I wanted to send, but we're going to even send some more. Okay, so now we're going to come back and we're going to click this little picture, and we could make more collages, but I also want to add the rhubarb I just planted in my yard. I'm all excited about some rhubarb I planted, and here's 3 more, and we're going to insert those and watch what happens. And now we have all our pictures inserted. So not only do we have all 6 of those pictures, but we've got 3 more. Now, I could have made those into a collage, and you could make another collage, and you could keep going until you get a whole bunch of pictures that don't exceed your file size in Gmail. So that's simply tricking Gmail into sending a lot more pictures than you normally can do. It's just that collage feature that you need to use in your photo editing program, and add that to Gmail, and you can send lots of pictures. It's pretty darn cool. All right, let's have a look at the mobile app. This is on my Pixel 6 phone. Let's open Google Photos. Here we're opening Google Photos, and we're back into my Google Photos album. Let's look at the pictures. We're going to go up to the top and hit that little plus button. That's going to bring up an option for us to do collages. Then we're going to come down, and let's find those pictures that we did before. All those pictures of my garden. Now, we're going to live dangerously here. We're going to make 6. We're going to choose 6 of these pictures. You'll see, remember, we can't do this in a normal situation, but we're going to make a collage of all these 6 pictures on our mobile app. So now we hit Save or Create, and now we see our collage is made. That's simple. And then we're going to save this. And here it's saved. And if you come down to the Share button, we're going to click the Share button and make this real easy. Guess what? You have Gmail as an option. Let's click the Gmail button. And we're going to send this to myself. So let's send this to myself. And then we're going to have a look at my Gmail and see what it looks like when we receive it in the Gmail. Here we are. We're going to send it. We're going to call it Pictures and hit the Send button. Now let's go and look at my Gmail. Here it is. There's the email. Let's open it up, and let's open the picture up. And here's our collage with 6 pictures. That's very easy to do. Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, how to beat the file size limitations in Gmail when sending pictures. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you found the video helpful, please click that like and subscribe, particularly that subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until we see you again, have a great day.
Merge 2 pictures side by side with this free image composition tool. I'm Hewie Poplock. The goal for this video is to end up with an image of 4 images in one. Here are the 4. This is my brother and I in our 70s in our 80s, when we were toddlers, and in our teens. We want to make all of those into one picture. That's our goal. Now, the first thing we're going to notice is my brother is on the left in 3 pictures, but not in all 4. And we want to make them all alike. So we're using Irfan view. So what we can do there is we can go into image and we can say, we're going to do a horizontal, and bingo. Now my brother is on the left in all of them. So now what we need to do is combine them. Next, we want to merge 2 pictures together. Let's do the horizontal first. We can do vertically or horizontally. We can reduce, we can not adjust at all. We can magnify the smallest, reduce the biggest, or crop the biggest. We are going to reduce the biggest. You can have a thickness of the border, and let's make our border 3. So there'll be a border, and we can check the color of what the border is. We're leaving it at white. So now we can choose the files. So the first thing we want to do is pick the file that's going to go on the right, and we'll make it that one. And then we're going to take the teenage years and put it on the left. So we've got those 2 pictures, and we're telling it to do them horizontally and to reduce the biggest. So when we tell it to merge, there they are together with the white border. We're going to tell it we want to download a JPEG, and it's downloaded it, and we're done with that. So next we want to go ahead and clear this, so we'll just refresh the screen. Now we're going to take the 2 at the top is number 2, this one is number 1, and this time we're going to tell it we want to do them vertically. We're going to continue to reduce the biggest. We want the thickness again at 3. So the border is going to be white, and we just tell it to merge. And there we go. Got the 80s on top, then the 70s. So we're going to tell it we want to download it. We click it once, and it's downloaded it. Okay, so next what we want to do is we want to clear it again. So we'll refresh, get it back to where we want. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put this image, we're going to put right here. And we're going to take this image and we're going to put it right here. Okay, and again, what we want to do this is do it vertically. Or do we just want to leave it alone? Let's see what we have. Do not adjust. Let's just leave them. And the thickness again is 3 for the border. And we're ready to merge. We'll hit merge. There's our picture. We'll download it. And there's our picture with all 4 in one photograph. And again, my brother Mel is on the left on all of them, and I'm on the right. I haven't changed much at all from baby to my 80s. Pine Tools does much more than just image merging. Let's take a look at some of these things. Pine Tools is a website that offers a vast collection of free online tools for various everyday tasks. It provides tools for the following categories: mathematics, colors, text and lists, numbers, date and time, images. This includes the merge images, but also many other items that you can do with images. Randomness, files, programming. Pine Tools essentially provides a wide range of utilities in one convenient website, making it a handy resource for various tasks. Let's look at some other examples of tools in Pine Tools. Earlier, we flipped a picture using Irfan View, but why not use Pine Tools? In order to do that, we'll say flip image. We'll click here. And the image we wanted to flip was this one. We're going to flip it left and right because we want my brother on the left of me. So we just tell it to flip. And there it is. And then we can download it. And there it is. Let's try some random choices here. Let's try a random number generator. We'll click it. Now, what's the lowest number we want? Let's say we've got a list of names. We want a winner of a contest. So we've got all the names and we've got a number associated with each one. And let's say we've got 62 people on our list. Do you want to include the limits? That means including 1 and 62. We will do so. Allow duplicates? No, we don't want any duplicates. And the total quantity of numbers, we want the top 5. The type of numbers, we want integers. Non-integers means it will be percentages with so many percentage places. But we're just going to have integers. We want whole numbers. Then, do you want to sort the numbers? No, we're going to leave them in the order that they come up. And then the numbers listed on the same line, no, we want separate lines. And a separator, no, we don't need that. And so we're going to go ahead and tell it to generate. And bingo, there's our top 5. 37, 39, 46, 60, and 55. If for whatever reason we wanted to do it again, we could say clear and then do it again. Now we have 21, 46, 28, 62, and 15. So that's how you could generate a list of winners in a contest, or just pick out certain people to do something from a list of names. Staying in randomness, let's try a password generator. You've got the choice of using lowercase. Yes, we want lowercase. We want uppercase. We want numeric digits, 0 to 9, and we also want some symbols. The length of the password, let's make it 18. And the number of passwords, we're going to create 10 of them. We want them on separate lines, and we tell it to generate. And there's our passwords. And you can download them, you can copy them, put them in a list, and then use them as you need them. Another that you might use on a regular basis would be here under text and lists. Let's try under more, and let's try case converter. Let's take some original text or some text. This is the regular text. There's several things that you can convert it to. You can change it all to lowercase, all to uppercase, up to title case, capitalized case, where the first letter of every word is capitalized, your sentence case, where the first letter of every sentence is capitalized, and then there's some others. So let's try first all lowercase, and then tell it to convert, and it's now all in lowercase. Let's try it again and say we want it all in uppercase. And we tell it to convert, and now it's all in uppercase. We want it in sentence case and tell it to convert, and now the first letter of each sentence is capitalized. Well, what else can we do? Under here, we've got other. Have you ever had the situation where you hit the caps lock by mistake? And so let's go ahead and invert this just to show you what it looks like, where this might have happened, where your first letter is supposed to be capitalized, it's small, and everything else is capital. You don't want to retype it all. So let's copy this and paste it over here. Now what we want to do is we want to inverse the case. We'll go ahead and tell it to convert. Now it's worked the way it should be. Merge two pictures side by side with this free image composition tool. I'm Hewie Poplock. There you go.
That's really good. So when you do the random generation, not random generation of the numbers, but when you choose those, could you use words instead of numbers when you choose the 5? Like if you had a list 20 names, would it choose 4 of the names out of there? Could you do?
This one doesn't, but there are other sites that will.
Oh, okay. That'd be cool. Yeah, we'd have a lottery here on our show, right? do a name generator. All right, good. That sounds good. All right, Bob, are you ready to roll?
Imagine you're chilling on YouTube and you see an ad that doesn't scream, "I'm a scam." No Comic Sans, no misspellings, just a click ad with a familiar face. You think, hey, this might be legit, but then, whoops, you're on a page that's about as safe as a chocolate teapot. Welcome to the new age of cyber shenanigans. The YouTube conundrum. YouTube's like that big party everyone's invited to. And guess what? Scammers love a good party. They're using YouTube's massive reach and automated ad system to slip in their sneaky scams. They're crafting ads so real, they could win an Oscar for Best Actor. Phishing, not just for fishermen. Content creators, beware. Scammers are phishing for you with emails that look cozier than a kitten in a yarn basket. Click on their collab links and you might as well hand over the keys to your channel. Next thing you know, your account's spewing out more scam than a politician in election season. Advertising, the bad ad epidemic. The scammers are also playing director, uploading videos with ads that'll take you on a trip to Scamville. They promise you giveaways and investments that are too good to be true because they are. Remember, if an online deal smells fishier than a tuna sandwich, it probably is. Deep fakes. Seeing isn't believing. And let's talk deep fakes. These aren't your grandma's cut and paste jobs. We're talking high-tech trickery that makes it look like your favorite celeb's selling you something they probably can't even pronounce. If it looks like Einstein's endorsing energy drinks, do a double take. Protecting your digital turf. So how do you keep safe in this wild west of the web? Be skeptical. Verify everything. An email about a collab? Double check it. Stumbled upon a too good to be true ad? Give it the side eye. And if you see a deep fake that's too weird to be true, trust your gut. Remember, folks, the internet's a jungle, and YouTube's the watering hole where the digital predators lurk. Stay alert, stay skeptical, and keep your sense of humor. It's your best defense against the online boogeyman. My thanks to the original article on the Avast blog by ℸ𝕝𝕝 titled YouTube, the Backdrop of a Scammer's Play. You'll find ℸ𝕝's article at the link listed. Stay safe, stay secure, and always verify before selecting any link, whether it's on YouTube, your email, or anywhere else. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye, and thanks for watching and listening. Microsoft's new Recall AI feature is essentially a digital extension of your memory. It works by taking periodic screenshots of your screen activity, which are then encrypted and stored on your device. This allows you to backtrack and find information that you may have forgotten, like a note you took during a meeting or a website you visited a few days ago. The benefits revisited. The recall feature can be particularly beneficial for professionals who can quickly refer back to important points from a previous work session. Students who can revisit study materials or online lectures with ease. Content creators like yourself who can track the progress of their work and easily find references. Addressing privacy concerns. Microsoft has been proactive in addressing the privacy concerns associated with recall. Selective memory. Users can customize recall to ignore certain applications or websites, ensuring that only relevant snapshots are taken. Data sovereignty. The data captured by recall remains under the user's control, with no external access unless explicitly granted. Transparency. Microsoft provides clear documentation on what recall does and doesn't do, allowing users to make informed decisions about using the feature. Microsoft's commitment to privacy. Microsoft's approach to alleviating privacy concerns includes user empowerment. Giving users the power to manage their data is at the heart of recall's design. Security measures. Implementing robust security measures like encryption and local storage to safeguard data. Ongoing dialogue. Engaging with the community to understand concerns and adapt the feature accordingly. The future of recall. As Microsoft continues to refine recall, we can expect enhancements that focus on user privacy while maintaining the feature's utility. The goal is to create a tool that helps users without compromising their personal information. Final thoughts. Ultimately, the user needs to decide on how to best protect and feel comfortable about allowing AI access to their information. We are all different, and we place different values on the importance on the data we share and allow AI to access. Be comfortable in your own skin and stay informed so you can make an intelligent decision regarding access to your information. Stay safe, stay secure, and I hope this elaboration provides a clear picture of Microsoft's recall feature and the steps being taken to protect user privacy. If you have any more questions or need further information, feel free to ask. I'll see you again soon. Bye, and thanks for watching and listening.
Thanks, Bob. Good information. I would encourage everyone, when you look at a YouTube video and you look at the and you're searching and you find a video, if it is obviously a fake or some malicious content in that video, you can report it. And there's just the three little buttons on the side before you even start the video. In the description of it, there's three little buttons. Click those three little buttons there, and it will open up another menu, and at the bottom it says report, and then that will pull that video out and send it back to YouTube, and they will manually look at this and decides if it meets community guidelines, and if it doesn't, then the owners will be contacted to remove the video. I mean, I ran across a few this week that were so bad that not just ones I didn't like, but these were fake obviously just created to get you to click and try to do something you shouldn't do, and you want to get those pulled off. So that's a way you can send them back to YouTube, and they'll manually look at them and review them and pull them off.
But if you like one, make sure that you do like it, because it
Yeah,
helps the
yeah,
creator.
and I would never report someone if I just didn't like the video. These were obviously malicious, bad videos that shouldn't be on YouTube, and those are the ones you can report. So and they manually pull them off, and we'll get rid of them. All right, that's good. So thank you so much. This is the time in the show where we say goodbye to our YouTube.
We got one more, Rod.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Sorry, Hewie. Go ahead.
Use ChatGPT 4.0 today. I'm Hewie Poplock. This is ChatGPT. However, I don't have ChatGPT 4.0 yet. And none of my friends do either. So right now, if I want to get it, I'd have to get ChatGPT Plus, which is an upgrade at $20 a month. ChatGPT is version 3.5. And then there's a temporary chat. But let's find a way in which we could actually run ChatGPT 4.0 now without having it available to us. And here's how you can do it. First, you need to come up with a prompt to ChatGPT, and we're going to ask it what amendments will be on the ballot in Florida in November. Let's take a look at that. And it will give us an answer. And there's our answer. Here's where you need to pay attention. At the bottom of this, you'll see some choices down here. You got read aloud, copy, regenerate, bad response, and this one, which is change model to ChatGPT 4.0. So if I click on that, it's going to give me the answer again as ChatGPT 4.0 instead of 3.5. So I'm still getting it free. The one thing that they want you to do is, was this response better or worse? I think it's a little bit better, so I'm going to say it's better. So that gives them an idea that it's on the right track. So I'm able to use 4.0. What's going to happen is if I use it 2 or 3 times, I don't know the exact number. It only happened to me once, but when I did it, it said you've used up your allocation for today, come back tomorrow. So apparently there is a limit of 3, 4, 5 times that you can use that 4.0, and then you're done for the day and you have to go back to the GPT 3.5. But it is a way to utilize the 4.0 until it becomes available for all of us.
Really cool. I didn't know that. That's great. Thanks for doing that. Yeah, great. I'm going to do that tomorrow when I'm using it. Thanks so much, Hewie. All right. All right. Now we're ready for Ray. But before we get Ray, we will say goodbye to our YouTube friends. If you are over on YouTube and you're listening to the show, this is where we have to stop the broadcast. If you want to come over and participate in the Q&A, we still have lots of room in our Zoom meeting. Come over and then join the Zoom meeting, and we'd be happy to have you. And don't forget, 1/2 we have our premiere version. And don't forget, on Thursday, we also have our Thursday show. So, but we will be back same time, same place next week. Okay, Ray, I'm just going to stop it and take it away.
Okay, never done this with one monitor?
No, it's complicated.
It is. Kidding you.
I have 2.
Okay, Dickie Betts. He was an Allman Brothers Band guitarist. So Dickie Betts was a founding member and guitarist to the Allman Brothers Band, one of the most influential rock bands of all time. They are credited with creating Southern rock, a genre that blends blues, country, and R&B with rock and roll. Now, Betts was a key part of the Allman Brothers band sound, sharing lead guitar duties with Duane Allman in the early days and taking over sole lead guitar after Duane's death in 1971. That was from a motorcycle accident. He was also a prolific songwriter, penning some of the band's biggest hits, including Ramblin' Man, Blue Sky, and Jessica. Now, Betts was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Allman Brothers Band in 1995 and was ranked number 58 on Rolling Stone's 100 Greatest Guitarists of All Times list in 2003. He continued to tour and record after leaving the Allman Brothers Band in 2000, but his legacy will always be tied to his work with one of the greatest rock bands of all time. The singer and guitarist died on April 18th at the age of 80 at his home in Osprey, Florida, after battling cancer and other health issues. So today's edited video clip is from 1978 with Betts singing Ramblin' Man with his band Great Southern on the British television show with the unusual title, The Old Grey Whistle Test. So apparently, if a new song was played a few times for doormen who wore gray suits, and they could then recall and whistle the tune, it was deemed to have passed the Old Grey Whistle Test and was destined to become a popular hit. Now, in the area of It's a Small World, since according to Wikipedia, Dickie Betts was born in West Palm Beach and raised in Bradenton, Florida, the current home of TFS co-host Hewie Poplock.
Well, excellent choice. And don't forget, that'll be added to Ray's playlist. And so you can listen to it again and again and again because it'll be a YouTube link, right, Ray?
Right, and I'll make sure I put the link to it in today's chat box.
Excellent.
How do you whistle to that tune?
Good question. But
How do you
look what happens when you get raised in Bradenton, Florida, Hewie.
Yeah.
Bradenton, yep.
Bradenton. Yeah. All right. Listen, thanks so much. If you have to take off, that would be just remember that we have a video coming up. I put, again, the links in the chat. We have our premiere educational video, which will be on at hour. The link, of course, is I put in the chat. It is also in our newsletter. And if you haven't signed up to our newsletter, it comes out on Saturday and Tuesday. And on the Saturday newsletter, we have, of course, the whole agenda and all the links for the show here today. All right, we will, and don't forget, as I mentioned earlier, we have certainly our show on Thursday. If you haven't come, it's a lot of fun. We have a good time on Thursday, and of course, we'll be back next week, same time, same place. And also, don't forget, on the 17th of June, we're going to be talking all about streaming options on your TV for all the different things we're going to do. So, and if you have any questions about the show and any of the presentations today, I thought it was a great show. Lots of really good presentations. And if you have any questions, I see a whole bunch of people with questions. Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, Ray, do you remember that British TV automotive program, Top Gear?
I don't. I didn't watch that one. No, tell me, what was that one like?
Top Gear's theme tune was Jessica. It was less than a minute version of it, and Jessica is like over 12 minutes long. That's a pretty neat trick to do.
Right, by the Allman Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. Good to know.
Carl, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm always amazed when I watch, Bob's stories about people being scammed and all the warnings. And yet in my local paper here in Troy, which is 20 miles north of Detroit, occasionally we get somebody who's scammed, and it just boggles my mind. For example, this week, some guy met a woman online and he gave her $460,000 to buy gold. And then that was in October to February this year. And then recently, it was just announced this week, he tried to get some of his money back. And that's when he found out, and his relatives and the police checked into it, he was scammed out of $460,000 buying gold. I wish I had the kind of money to invest to begin with.
So Carl, I listened to, there's a great YouTube video series and it's about Australian security and it's border patrol in Australia. And the latest one was they intercepted a fella coming in from, I forget where he was. He's from US and he was coming into Australia to meet his intended bride. And he'd been paying her, oh, $6,000 or $7,000 a month for 5 years or more, right? But he'd never met her. In fact, he rarely saw her. She did videos with him maybe every 2 months, but he was supporting her and her friends and all that sort of stuff. And he had never met her. And he was coming, of course, to marry her. But of course, she didn't turn up and she wasn't there. And it was all a big scam. But he'd been paying this for over 5 years. He'd been paying all this money. So it's true, like it's amazing, eh?
And in the same week, there's a house was for sale. Some guy went to look. He wanted to rent and it's an upscale home rental in our area, and he paid somebody a rental deposit of $2,500 for this house that was not for rent. It was just for sale.
Yep.
Right. Oh, but I just want to mention to everybody, if you haven't seen the Saturday newsletter, in the Saturday newsletter, I put my favorite YouTube channel and this Saturday, last Saturday, I did the YouTube channel and they play all old commercials. And this was the link I played in there was to the car commercials that were produced in 1950. That's 2 years before I was born. And it's a blast watching those. So if you didn't see that in our Saturday newsletter, watch that link. You'll have a really good time with it. It's a lot of fun. Go ahead, Hewie.
Yeah, a couple of things. One, the reason I did the video on the combining pictures, it was, I think, in Chris's section a couple of weeks ago. Somehow it came up, and I said I had a tool that I used to do that, and I wanted to demonstrate how, and I did, and it was a interesting way where you can just take two pictures and make one. And one of the reasons I do it a lot of times is I want to keep those pictures together, as opposed to if you put it on Facebook, it'll string them out and you may not even see all of them unless you click on them. So this way I shared how I do that. And then the other thing is Dickie Betts. Bradenton is just north of Sarasota, and Osprey is just south of Sarasota. So it's the whole thing. He was from the Sarasota area, and I was living in this area in 1971, 72, and I managed a club out in an exclusive area out in Sarasota, and it was a rock and roll club. So I heard about all the goings on in other clubs. And one of the things that I heard about is Dickie Betts took out a gun in one of them and shot the jukebox for whatever reason. And so I always remembered that story. So I knew he was from this area. So just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you. Small world.
Drew, go ahead.
I just wanted to do a follow-up comment on a program that Hewie presented a few weeks ago called Local Send. Normally, I always thought that if you wanted to transfer files from one computer to another, you needed to have this on both, but you don't. And if you have Local Send on your computer and you happen to be on the same Wi-Fi network as someone else that does not, but you want to transfer them a file, you run this program and you select the file that you want to share with them. And then it's not very obvious, but on the nearby devices list, there is a gearbox. And when you click on the gearbox, there's an option to share via link. And when you share via link, it gives you an option to display on your screen a QR code that has a URL in it. And then the other person, whether they have an iPhone or an iPad or whatever they have, they don't have to have any software on it, or they just have, other than being on your same Wi-Fi. They just scan that QR code. It'll launch their default browser and download whatever it is that you chose to share with them. And I thought that was kind of neat that everybody might be interested in knowing about.
Thanks for telling me that. I did not know that.
Excellent. Excellent. Thanks a lot. Chris and Jim. Chris, do you have any final comments for us?
No, I always enjoy it and pick up something. I think I have my topic for next week. I got a question from somebody on the Facebook group, how to add a text when sharing photos in an album. And I figured there's 4 ways next
Okay.
week.
We look forward to that. That's great. Super. Thanks so much. All right. I think that's it for our questions. Any more questions before we head out? I guess everybody's got everything answered.
Just a comment about the fact that what I demonstrated was an online website. So it doesn't matter whether you're using a Mac, a PC, a Linux machine, because it's a website, you can use that same tool no matter what platform you're on.
LA?
Hi, my name is Elaine. That L is my moniker.
Oh,
on
Elaine, I
Google.
didn't see your camera's off.
No, my camera's off, but that's our little travel genie. We used to have a store called Travel Genie.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I was on earlier asking about passwords now. This is a dumb question, but is Google a browser or is Chrome a Google browser? I'm told I need to keep my browsers up to date and I should update them regularly. Is Google a browser or is Google
No,
something
Chrome
else?
is a browser.
Chrome is a Google browser.
That's
Correct.
correct.
So if I'm using Chrome and Google asks if it would like to have me use its password manager, that will save the passwords for Chrome,
That's correct. It
but
will
not
save,
necessarily
it will save any passwords you enter while using Chrome.
Okay. And if I don't want those to be shared with a different computer, they won't be, as long as that different computer isn't using a Chrome browser?
Yeah,
Or will it?
doesn't have access if you're not using a Chrome browser.
If I use Google on other computers, that's okay. It won't give them Chrome
It's used
stuff.
in the Chrome browser. Right.
Okay, very good. That explains that. Thank you much.
Mm-hmm.
Irving, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
My question is also about browsers. Has anyone had any experience using a browser called Brave?
I have been using it as my default browser up until last week. And the reason why is one of the extensions that I use for capturing things and putting it in Evernote stopped working correctly in Brave. So I've switched back. I'm doing either Edge or Google Chrome. So I'm not using Brave any longer, but I really liked it.
What's your Brave question?
Well, I've tried it, and one of the things I noticed that is sort of a pleasure is the lack of advertising.
Yes, it has built-in ad suppression.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. Did that answer all your questions, Irving? Is that okay?
I was just wondering,
Yeah.
you know, if anyone else had other experiences. And
Yeah.
Oh,
Hewie's was quite
I use it.
interesting too.
I use it all the time.
Yeah. It's a popular browser. Lots of people use it.
Yep.
Dick, go ahead.
Yes, I use Browse also. I wanted to point out that when Hewie was showing his pictures moving around and collage and all that sort of thing, when you flip the pictures, you do in fact get a mirror image, not a transposition.
That's correct. Yep. And so if there's lettering behind you, it's going to be a mirror image. So you want to be careful what you do it with, but it worked out real well because you really couldn't tell the difference, but it did make it so it was consistent with the other pictures. And that's why I did it. I then framed that and put it and sent it to my brother. So he has a picture of the two of us in a frame at the 4 levels in our lives.
Ron, on sharing pictures, there's one other option, and that's to share a link to a collage, not collage, but the actual pictures.
Correct.
Because when you select all those pictures, you could just create a link that you then share with either one person, any person, or anyone who has the link.
Yeah, there's lots of ways of going about what I explained. I guess I said in the video, this was something for someone who who was just learning and starting out. This was an easy way to do it. The other thing that I like is I used it for we have a little newsletter I send out to our family and friends once a week, and it's just stuff I do around the house and little simple things, and people will look at it quickly and just discard it, and then and they just to put a link in there, they're going to have to click the link. It's got to open them up. I like to just have the pictures in the body of the email so they can just see them and deal with it right away. I just think in that particular situation, it works a little bit easier. But you're right. That's how I would send most of the pictures, would just select them all and create a link, and then the link works to the pictures. That's a real easy way to do it, but you can't see the pictures. You have to open the link.
Chris, is it in an iPhone that when you send a picture, it'll say, do you want it the full size? Do you want it a reduced size, or do you want it a small size, and so on, where it makes it a lot easier to send it?
Yeah, that's pretty nice, isn't it? Yeah, if you use the Apple Mail, that's the key. It's the Apple Mail app, and you say, I want, and you add your 6 or 7 pictures, it will offer to compress them for you. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. All right. If there are no more questions, thank you. Thank you everyone for coming. We do appreciate you being here and coming to listen to us. I want to thank all the presenters today. I want to thank Hewie, Ray, and of course, Bill when he didn't present today, but thanks. And I look forward to your article tomorrow to see what gadget. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, you'll never know what Bill's gadget is tomorrow. He's got a gadget already chosen, and he'll be out in the newsletter. And don't forget, I was gardening. You saw my rhodos. You know why they look so good? Is because Ray's playlist. I listen to Ray's playlist when I'm doing gardening, and it's great. So you got to do that. It's great, and it's in our newsletter. I got the link in the newsletter. Listen to his newsletter. Your gardening will be much better. So
what an added benefit that is.
Yes, exactly. And it's all free. All right. So anyway, don't forget our video coming up at 1:30, and we'll see everybody on Thursday or maybe next Monday. All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.